happy game, and we'll take questions.
Well, obviously we're not thrilled with our performance. You know, the thing that we have to do against a really good club like Florida is we got to throw the ball in the strike zone immediately. And Evan's done such a great job in his last 3 or 4 outings. You know, got behind, you know, instantly the 2 walks in the first inning score. You know, again, if you give up solo home runs, it's not going to kill you. But when walks are in front of that, you know, it's just not going to win for you. So, you know, Florida's a very deep club. You know, they're not playing 2 of their everyday guys, but, you know, they have great depth. And, you know, I felt like Hudson Randall did a great job. I thought in the middle there, you know, his command left him a little bit. But, you know, he's a really good college pitcher. And, you know, by our charts, we had 10 hard hits that were outs. You know, it's hard to get going when you got a guy with really good command, and when you do hit a ball hard, it's an out. And that happened to us 10 times today. So, you know, but that's what happens when you get ahead and you throw strikes. You know, you're going to hit balls hard right at people. So, real credit to him. And, you know, I thought defensively we played very solid. You know, Augie had the 2 little hiccups that really didn't cost us in a big way. But, you know, for the most part, we just have to have a little amnesia, come back out and play the way we have most of the time against Florida, and just command the strike zone better offensively and defensively.
Questions? Go ahead.
Okay, Mike. Jared, what did you see from Randall this time that was different from last time he faced y'all?
He kept the ball down a lot. He wasn't leaving a lot of pitches up like he did in the first inning of our game back home. He didn't walk a lot of people, but he's always been like that. He just did a good job, you know, mixing it up side to side on each side of the plate. Kept our hitters off balance.
Evan, after your strong start last weekend, just from the start, it looked like your balls were missing a little bit higher off. Is this something you command?
Yeah, I definitely missed most of my pitches were up, and probably half of them were up, and you can't win when you're doing that, especially getting behind in the count. They're going to hit the ball hard like he's on today.
John, was Evan missing big, or that Florida doing a good job of taking marginal pitches?
I think some of both. I think there's some big misses. You know, when you have big misses, 2 things happen. You're not engaging the umpire, you're not engaging the hitter. If you're not engaging the umpire, then you have the marginal miss, and you're never going to get that call. It's got to be small misses all the time, and you know, it's not difficult to do, especially for a freshman on this type of stage. But Evan's a good one. He's a very talented young man, and he's gonna be able to command the zone when he does. His stuff is plenty good, you know, to be one of the best guys in this league. So, but today it's just, you know, there's some big misses, and you can't, against a really good offensive club, you can't have big misses.
John, the guys have allowed double-digit runs, and I think 6 games all were lost. And you guys bounced back. I think the next game you either won or came real close. Just how much is that senior leadership, and what are you expecting out of guys like Jerry?
Yeah, you know, we've been able to bounce back from you know, some of the tougher losses. You know, everybody in our league deals with this type of loss. Everybody, because the league's that good, and you know, you just have to. It's the way baseball works. And so, yeah, I fully expect our guys to come out tomorrow and be ready and really, again, have a better approach at the plate and have a better approach on the mound.
Jared, how did you guys approach those games, those double-digit losses over the year to kind of turn things around as a senior?
You just got to forget about them as soon as you leave the park. You know, like Coach said earlier, in our huddle, the preparations for the next game starts, you know, as soon as we leave here. And that's what we're going to do, the same thing, you know, after this game. Just forget about it and come to the park with a new mindset tomorrow.
Jared, there was a stretch where Randall had about 6 or 7 strikeouts, and all of a sudden 6 or 7 air balls just in a row. Did the offensive approach change any there late, or just that was what he's pitching?
Well, I think you have to change your approach, you know, if he gets you out. And a lot of times with a guy like him, he has a lot of sink. So if he's going to get you with a slider in the dirt, you're going to try to stay underneath, you know, the next time around. I think our guys did a good job with that, you know, a few times through. They might have got struck out by the slider, and then the next time try to hit a line drive. So, you know, they did a good job.
I feel like
no comment.
You feel like you swung. I mean, you felt you swung the bat pretty well Sunday. I know, just didn't get the hits, but I feel like that continued today, and finally glad to see something fall.
Yeah, you know, the biggest hole is that hole up the middle, and I'm glad I found that hole twice today. So it felt good to get on base for once.
John Randall threw a lot of first pitch strikes, especially early on. Do you feel like you guys were being aggressive enough?
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword. If you're super aggressive against him, he's going to get through 4 or 5 innings and not have thrown any pitches at all. I thought we did early on. We did the first time we faced him, we did a great job taking marginal pitches. You look at our chart, it's just not as bad as you think it is. I mean, every guy in our lineup, at least everybody in our lineup, except for Cody Freeman, hit a ball really hard, just right at somebody. And when you have a lead, that's what you want. On the other side, you want to shove it in the strike zone. You want your defense to play. You want to engage those guys. But I feel like if we have the same approach tomorrow, we eliminate a little bit of swing and miss. I think we get some balls to fall. I think we can score some runs.
So how daunting is it though to come out here and know you need to win 2 games against a team in their park and they haven't used any of their other bullpen?
Really, no other different than any other SEC weekend. It's everybody's good and Florida's real good. So yeah, that's a real challenge for us. But we've been there before. We've had the situation against Vanderbilt, Alabama. Many teams were down in the last game of the series, and we came back and played well. So I fully expect us to do the same thing here.
Jared, do you feel like the team was able to approach this as more of another SEC series and not let the weight of the moment be too much?
Yeah, of course. When we show up to the park, you're expecting, maybe 15,000 fans. But, when we came here, it just seemed like a regular SEC weekend. And we wanted to have a weekend against Florida. They've taken a few from us that we thought we should have had, but it just felt like a normal weekend.
John, what kind of teaching point is this for Evan in a sense? He had 5 or 6 walks in Hoover against Florida. He's getting behind early in count.
Well, you don't walk out to the mound and say, Evan, don't walk these guys. It's like telling the golfer, hey, you probably need to hit this 6-foot putt in the hole. It's kind of stating the obvious. Again, with Evan, it's a double-edged sword. He's got great stuff. I can guarantee he throw a baseball 93, 94 miles an hour in this game. He's got a tight breaking ball. When you have that kind of stuff, it's a little more difficult to shove the ball in the strike zone. But when he does that, and we know he will, he's going to be one of the elite pitchers in this league.
Did you feel any different nerve-wise or anything today than any other? No, not at all. I felt fine going out there. I just needed to throw strikes early, and clearly I got behind because I couldn't throw my second pitch for a strike either. So it hurt me.
2 more questions?
John, what's the biggest thing that a guy like Nick Rising start tomorrow can take from this and you really can point out to him tonight?
Just, again, it's the obvious. We talk about it over and over and over again. It's kind of the theme of our pitching staff. He can pitch off his fastball. He's got to throw it in the strike zone. I think the thing that separates good teams from great teams, and I think Florida's a great team, is their ability to take pitches that are marginal, that are balls. It's really easy to sit here and say, hey, swing at the strikes and take the balls. They do a very good job with that. So you've got to throw strike one. If you throw strike one, it'll hurt anybody's plan, from the big leagues all the way down. So strike one is got to be our friend tomorrow.
John, concerning Nick and coming off that complete game, what have you seen from him this week? He seemed fresh enough to go.
Yeah, I think he's very excited about pitching tomorrow. And in fact, we contemplated letting him start today, but we wanted him to have the extra rest. And I would be shocked if he doesn't throw well tomorrow. His preparation was very good this week.